Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mark cast, where it's all about Mark, not a Liz in sight. I am here with my cool John Morrison shades, and we have Smackdown, not a Liz in sight. Liz is gone. Fuck! Come on!
Hello! Can't fucking get rid of me now! Told you I was a control freak.
I knew you couldn't trust me with this podcast.
No, not in a million years.
So, Liz, why are you here and not,
Oh, for fuck. Can we not stick to the kayfabe reasoning of I didn't trust you?
Oh no, let's actually explain.
Oh my god.
I mean, if you don't want to.
I fucking will. So, apparently, I went to go on vacation, did not realize, because it was not within sight, that somebody stole part of my car.
The catalytic converter.
Yeah, so if you got one of those, which you do, make sure nobody steals it from your car. You'll know, because you'll turn your car on, the engine will turn over, and it'll sound like a goddamn motorcycle. And then your car might get totaled because they take it from old cars. We're having fun.
Yeah, so thank you, horrible person. Now I have to do this podcast not alone.
Thank you, horrible person. You not only ruined my weekend, totaled my car potentially, but you also ruined my birthday weekend, which I'm not going to let stay ruined because I'm a spiteful bitch. Don't bite my leg. I'm mad.
Understandably.
Truly, there is no greater thing to say than somebody stole part of my car.
Newsflash. How I was gonna ruin this podcast was by stealing the catalytic converter of your car. I played the long con, baby. Alright. Well, this is Smackdown. Smackdown. What'd you think of today's Smackdown? I've got opinions.
I think that today is my honorary official birthday Smackdown celebration, because it will turn into my birthday probably before we're done. So now we're doing birthday part 2. But about Smackdown, I didn't think today was bad. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was bad, though.
I thought that it was pretty stupid.
Yeah?
Because this podcast, or this episode of Smackdown, basically acted like Backlash never happened. Storylines didn't move anywhere, and we're basically back before Backlash happened. Cesaro's still running in on Roman Reigns. Seth is still attacking Cesaro. I mean, the only thing that changed is Rey and Dom now have the titles, but they're still clashing with Dolph and Rood. Bailey's still after Bianca. Let's see, what other storylines? Oh, Natty and Tamina are still fighting Shayna and Nia. And what else has happened today? What other fucking Jimmy and Jay are still there's still tension. Corbin and Shinsuke are kind of doing the same thing they were last week. The only thing that's new now is Aleister Black has re-debuted. But yeah, I did not like this SmackDown. No matches were really good either. The last one was good until Aleister decided, hey, I'm gonna attack Biggie for no reason.
No, I think I get why he attacked him.
Well, you think, but there's
Okay.
no reasoning. Like there's no evidence. There's no hints. Nothing.
Sorry, bud. I don't know. Was it worth not going to the beach? No. At all.
And I've been like averaging my ratings of every match to get like the rating of each episode. And of this week, because I didn't do Dynamite or NXT UK, or the only AEW show I did was Elevation, the worst show of the week is actually SmackDown. Raw actually beat out SmackDown.
Damn, the Mark Meltzer star ratings are harsh.
Yeah. There's no reasoning to these ratings, honestly.
To be fair, there's no reasoning to Dave's ratings either, so.
There's no reasoning to Dave.
And you've got a cleaner office than him, so. Also, I just really want to put on a side note real quick. My new palette came, so I did like really pretty eyes. Say. Finally came, was really upset because it wasn't going to come in time for the NXT podcast, but now it's here.
You realize you're talking to wrestling fans, right?
Yeah, but like, someone cares, I'm sure.
Okay.
Nail polish has also gotten worse.
So, news.
Yes. You've got so much fucking news.
Miriam says she loves the eyeshadow.
Thank you. See, someone cares.
Yeah, I knew Miriam was the only one.
No. Could be nice.
I'm the heel. I'm the heel of this podcast. I can't be nice.
Okay.
Not on fucking Smackdowns like this.
But technically, Pat McAfee's the heel, and he's a nice dude. He talks nicely. He said nice things about Biggie today.
And Shinsuke. Talked up Shinsuke and Boogs.
True.
All right. So this
begin.
is we've got a lot of news. You want me to start with the little story that I told you about? Okay. All right, I guess I'm not starting.
We'll get into that. Trust me. I have space for you. Just that I like to do my AEW news first.
Okay.
It's a very simple piece of news. It's just that AEW, find the article, AEW filed a trademark for their new show because our new weekly show is still going to be on TNT on Friday nights in August, before moving to TBS along with Dynamite in 2022. And they filed a trademark for AEW Rampage.
And they're also adding special supercard shows, which will be like, I don't know how often they're doing them, but they're like specials that I think are like once a month or something, where it's like a Clash of Champions type thing, where like your titles have to be defended, just massive cards, aired on TV.
They're just reinventing the pay-per-view wheel.
Not really, because it's not pay-per-view.
But like, what I'm saying is that like, isn't that kind of what a pay-per-view is?
I think
Premise of it.
I think what show was it? I think WCW did it. An old wrestling show used to do something like that with the super cards. But
I'm interested to find out what the vibe for Rampage is going to be.
yeah, it's basically the third hour of Dynamite, is what I've heard. Hey, Steve's here.
Steve?
Hey, Steve.
I have one thing, and then I'm going to have you do your thing.
Okay.
So, it's sort of for the contrast of the WWE has a couple of lawsuits against it right now. SITO Mobile filed multiple patent infringement lawsuits against the WWE. I believe it's up to, the filing includes 12 patents.
When doesn't the WWE have a lawsuit against them?
Truly, I do not fucking know.
I feel like the one about concussions was just
It was just finished.
Yeah, I had no idea that was happening.
But to contrast it, the WWE is also in a lot of fucking hot water for something else. Mark, take it away.
All right, so I don't know if it's WWE like as an entity that's in trouble for this, but somebody tweeted, let me grab their name real quick. Alan Cheapshot on Twitter tweeted, "Has the hidden camera phone filming talent in bathroom story got out yet? Or that talent found the camera phone and less than savory files stored on it?" And then Sean Ross Sapp tweeted, in response to that, "It's gonna next week if I can get the person who caught it to go on record, pal." So there's somebody recording talent in the bathrooms with some not so savory files saved.
I mean, I'm assuming that would be the talent going to the bathroom.
And that also might be what Andrade was referring to when in an interview when he said somebody took a picture of Charlotte getting dressed.
Yeah, that's kind of what my brain tied that back to.
Hopefully whoever's behind it has received punishments or will
brought to justice.
Yeah, because that is fucking creepy, disgusting.
No shit. Yeah, no shit.
I don't know if you're going to talk about the SummerSlam news, but
Sam.
Okay.
First, WWE announced that's returning to touring. It will be going back to touring, I believe, July 16th, starting with Smackdown at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. They also announced, I believe, that Money in the Bank will be in the Dickies Arena in Fort Worth. And finally, Raw on July 19th will be at the American Airlines Center in Dallas. So far they've only announced the Texas cities. There are supposed to be locations in 25 cities. I don't know if they're all Texan cities, but imagine that they might be all Southern cities at this point. Potentially.
I am very excited to get crowds back. That's going to be awesome.
He's so nice.
Cannot wait. But there's some news similar to that, Liz. Kind of going off of crowds.
First segues. Yes, so two things about pay-per-views. One thing that I'll talk about is that the pay-per-view order may have been released, and SummerSlam has been confirmed. Unfortunately, not good for us. Mark and Liz Go to SummerSlam has officially been dashed. It is likely going to be at a location in Las Vegas.
Yes. The Allegiant Stadium.
Okay. Nothing is certain, but it seems like this might be certain. With that said, though, the WWE pay-per-view order may have been released, and of course, again, card subject to change. It looks like the order of events will be Hell in a Cell, then Money in the Bank, then SummerSlam, then Clash of Champions, then Extreme Rules, then Survivor Series, then Survivor Series, the best of the best, in parentheses, then TLC, then Rumble, then Fastlane, and then WrestleMania 38. So they aren't doing any fillers this year.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Like, everything is like name brand pay-per-view.
No fucking stomping grounds or Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah, which I kind of thought was surprising.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah. I have a little piece of news that will have nothing to do with any piece of news that you have, but I just thought it was interesting.
Okay. Well, I'm about to go into the signings, the leavings, and the injured. So if you want to get that in before that, you are welcome to.
All right. So it's a little interesting announcement about a Japanese match that has a really cool fucking stipulation. So this tweet says, Onita's FMWE show on July 4th will see the first ever women's 4-way tornado throwing money bunkhouse death match. The way this works is people have to tip money during the live broadcast for a specific weapon. Once a weapon reaches the needed amount, it will be thrown into the ring. And some of the items are a ladder, a chair, a trash can, a whip, a board with barbed wire, a kendo stick, and a barbed wire baseball bat.
Jesus Christ.
That's a really, really interesting concept.
Very creative.
Imagine nobody tips money and not a single weapon's thrown in the ring.
It's like, all right, I'm interested to see how that goes.
Yeah.
So let's start with some signings. And by signings, I mean all of these are prospective. First, Moose from Impact, his contract is almost up. He's kind of teased that he might be going to NXT. In that he specifically said, and this could totally be like bullshitting for the camera, kind of. But he tweeted, "I love when you all argue about what my NEXT move is."
Oh yeah, that's not real. Oh, Mr. Moose. Mr. Moose.
That'd be cool. In addition to that, Mike Bailey is somebody that the WWE is working on signing. It looks like it's kind of a good possibility. It seems that like they've been in talks for a little while, and like if all goes well, he'll be coming over. No one knows to where or in what, but he has worked for Progress. He's done Rev Pro, CZW, ROH, and WXW. And recently he's been working at DDT Pro in Japan. So it'll be interesting. Then in addition to that, there's a chance, and by a chance I mean like somebody talked to somebody, and Finlay said that he doesn't really know what his son, David Finlay, is going to be doing. Like his future's kind of in the air right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he's in Japan right now, so I guess Japan have had an outbreak of COVID, and so they started canceling shows. He mentioned that he works for NJPW. Then said, I don't know how New Japan are going to handle this new outbreak, or I don't know. No one does, but he's a little bit confused at the minute as what to do next. You know, is he going to stay in Japan? Does he want to try it here, like WWE or whatever? It was just his father talking. But again,
yeah,
it is true that a lot of people in NJPW are kind of just like, well, what the fuck do we do right now?
They're really mad at foreigners right now.
I can understand.
For going back home during like the pandemic, testing positive, and now NJPW is in such a fucked up state. Will Ospreay had to relinquish the title, but that wasn't related to COVID. That was
no, that was related to my last piece of news for the night.
Oh, I apologize. I forgot there's a lot of time since our last podcast.
And then in addition to all that, there have been more tryouts this week. There has been male tryouts. Some names are from AEW and Ring of Honor. John Skyler is somebody. He's competed on AEW Dark about 14 times. His last appearance was when he and Ryzen were defeated by SCU. Other alumni from Dark at the tryouts were Tyson Maddox, Ray Jazz, Brady Pierce, Will Alday, David Ali, Ariel Levi, Eric James, and Jason Cade. And then the Ring of Honor, there's Wheeler Yuta and Rayo, who have been at the tryouts.
Okay.
Now, let's discuss the injured first.
Mm-hmm.
That's easier. Obviously, Will Ospreay is vacating the title. Thank fucking God. Fuck him. Ray Phoenix, however, unfortunately, the poor decent soul, has been injured and is likely going to be out for Double or Nothing. Not clear how long he's going to be out for, but fortunately, does not seem that he will be back anytime soon. And finally, let's discuss people who have left WWE, shall we?
Left or were released?
Whichever. First, Impact is once again teasing that they have signed Daniel Bryan. They were promoting Slammiversary. They had a video that include these scenes, I guess, or something. One was like a card that said yes. The other one was like this weird glitchy little thing that said forgotten. And then another one was the Bullet Club logo, and then the other one was the Iconics logo. So I guess they're trying to push the idea that they've signed Daniel Bryan, along with the Iconics and the Forgotten Sons. I guess whoever from Impact is part of Bullet Club, which could just literally be El Phantasmo, and that's it.
There's El Phantasmo. I don't think who. Gallows and Anderson are still doing their thing. Maybe Adam Cole. We haven't seen him.
Yeah, that's not the point of that. He is also not part of Bullet Club anymore. So.
He was. I'm sure if he returned to the Indies, he would definitely be back in Bullet Club. I
don't think his leaving was amicable.
Amicable?
Not mistaken. Amicable? Whatever.
Yeah.
Now let's discuss what everyone's here for, right?
That's not why everyone's here.
Discuss what everyone's here for. So NXT released a lot of fucking people. The full list at this point is Jessamine Duke, Alexander Wolf, Jake Clemens, Skylar Story, EJ Nduka, Vanessa Bourne, Kavita Devi, and Drake Woods. Apparently EJ Nduka was a shocker to everyone. Wolf said that he thought it was fucking dumb. He seemed like he was in a really good place, but he thought it was fucking stupid.
Jessamine Duke is still with Up Up Down Down. She's just not a wrestler. Yeah, she clarified.
Okay. Because people were saying that they were sad because that might mean that BRE was over.
No.
I don't think that's the case.
She said BRE forever. She's still with them.
And finally, apparently this was planned 3 weeks ago. Let's get into... Also, how could I fucking forget this? This must not have been part of it at the time. Velveteen Dream was also released.
Yeah, it was the day after that Dream was released.
So, Dream was released. There have been reports that have come out saying that NXT talent didn't feel comfortable going to management about Dream, that he was called by somebody the most unprofessional person that he has ever worked with.
Right.
Which makes me wonder, all those times where he was, basically, pumping the person that he had, pinned. Maybe that wasn't, okay.
Right. Also, Dave Meltzer has completely shit on one of your news pieces. He said, according to Wrestling Observer News, Moose is close to signing a new deal with Impact, or deal might have already been done.
No. The news piece for Moose was very much look at this dude. Being a goof. So Dave Meltzer can shit on whatever he wants of mine. My room is cleaner than his.
And it's also lining up to be Kenny Omega versus Moose at Slammiversary.
Sounds about right. Then Drake Woods was released. Apparently, my dude was nearly beaten up at a WWE NXT show. He left a meeting with Triple H, all hands meeting, it seemed, with Triple H. And then people in WWE also felt uncomfortable around him and did not feel comfortable with him reffing their matches. Which, how has it taken this fucking long? Oops.
Alright, so is that all the news? Is there more?
I kind of thought you would have more to say about Drake Wirtz because you had a lot of stories that you'd
I mean, it was just like, oh, there was one thing where during, I think it was In Your House, or no, it was whenever there was the Black Lives Matter protest happening, I think in June of last year. Triple H got in the ring and stated that all races, all genders, all sexualities are welcome, and then he also said that all religions are welcome. And as soon as he said religions, Drake Wirtz apparently left the building out of
It's fucking
anger.
ridiculous. Apparently, Jane Duca or Ezra Judge, was the one who nearly got into a fight with Drake Wirtz because of how he was treated. Which, if anybody remembers, EJ Nduka is fucking massive.
Yeah.
He could have punched Drake Wirtz back into the old days.
And Drake Wirtz was trying to use political pullings to get a higher up position in the company.
This was like also the same guy who used his position in the company to further like his political interests.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Fuck him. Fuck Dream. I'm glad they're gone. Yay.
All right. So matches and promos. Got an episode. Promo heavy episode.
Yes, very promo heavy.
All right. So we started off with the Parade of Champions. All of the champions minus one were standing out there on the ramp. Sonya Deville is in the ring. She said in July, WWE would leave the Thunderdome back on the road. And makes that little announcement. Everyone cheers. And then she says, but now we have the Parade of Champions, recognizing all the champions here on SmackDown. We have the Mysterios. We have Natalya and Tamina, Apollo Crews, and Apollo grabs the mic. Oh no, Aziz goes backstage, grabs the mic, says, cut the music, hands the mic to Apollo. Apollo says, prior to this, Sonya had said, Apollo Crews, who will be defending his title in a fatal four-way later tonight. And Apollo Crews says, why must you dishonor me? Defend my title tonight in a match where the odds are stacked against me? I will be retaining the title. I will enact total destruction on Sami Zayn, Biggie, and Kevin Owens. The fuck did I write? Oh, that's why I wrote that. He looks at his title. He says, I love you, title, and starts kissing it. It's very weird, very strange. But then Sonya continues on, says, Bianca Belair. Then goes to Roman Reigns. And Paul Heyman walks out instead of Roman. And Paul walks out to the Shield music. So the Shield music is now his. Paul Heyman says, how nice, a parade of champions. But this isn't a parade of champions, it's a parade of title holders. Roman Reigns is a preeminent champion. Roman Reigns will not be one of many. There will be a parade of champion with Roman Reigns because he is the only champion amongst everyone in SmackDown. Bailey then walks in the ring. After Paul leaves, and she says, all these champions and you don't recognize me? She calls out Dominic for riding his dad's coattails, calls out Natty Tamina, says they just grasp a hint of relevancy and start crying. She says, what up, Apollo and Aziz? She says, Bianca is masquerading as a champion. Used her braid as a weapon, therefore she's not a champion, she's a criminal. Bianca then starts walking down the ramp, yelling at Bailey, kind of charging her, gets in the ring, gets in her face, and they start shouting at each other. Then Shayna and Nia come out of nowhere, attack Bianca. All three of them are now just ganging up on Bianca. Tamina gets in the ring and tries to help, but she gets attacked by Nia and Shayna. And then it goes right into the first match, a 6-person tag match between Bianca Belair, Tamina, and Natalya versus Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, and Bailey. Holy fuck. That is a
It's
long
funny.
ass promo to start off.
Well,
Oh.
sleep. It's funny because my brain, I forgot everything that's happened recently, and I was just like, oh my god, Shayna on the main roster? That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know why you thought that.
It's been like a rough week.
My first thought was Shayna going after the SmackDown Women's Championship. That's awesome.
Yeah, maybe that's why my brain like shut off. All right, so we start with Tanaya. Start with Nia and Tamina.
Yep. No one heard that.
So Nia splashes Tamina in the corner. There's an elbow drop. Nia starts choking Tamina against the ropes, and Baszler takes advantage of this to complete the job after the ref is distracted by Nia. Tamina then gets in. She punches the midsection of Tamina, and then we get a soccer-style kick to the back. Bailey gets in off of that. She stomps Tamina in the corner. Tamina headbutts Bailey, who spears her back into that corner. We get a big old suplex to Bailey, and then Natty gets in. There's a snap suplex to Bailey, and then another. She goes for the power slam, but Bailey counters, sending Natty onto her ass. Shayna gets back in, starts twisting Natty's arm before falling with it like a little lever. Nia gets in off that. Natty is sent into Nia's arms, and then there's a standing power slam to Natty. There's a jawbreaker to Nia to make some distance, and then Bianca gets in, Shayna gets in. There's a dropkick and a kip up to Shayna. Bianca starts spearing her in the corner. Shayna gets the cure food to clutch, but Bianca gets away from it. There's a spine buster to Shayna, and then Bianca goes up top, but Bailey and Nia pull Shayna out of the ring, saving her. Bianca then decides to just crossbody the entire field of women instead. Post-commercial break, Bailey is in against Bianca, pretty much where we were supposed to be the whole time. There's like this inverted chicken wing sort of like hold on Bianca, but there's an inverted chicken wing hold on Bianca. She can't manage to tag out. Bailey ends up taking Natty off the ringside, the apron. I'm really slow today. I'm sorry. Belair then avoids a drop elbow from Bailey.
Okay, take your time. One syllable at a time.
Bianca avoids a drop elbow. She rolls over. We get a scoop power slam after a flurry of offense. And then, Natty gets in. That's what happens there. The scoop power slam after a flurry of offense. Basement dropkick to Bailey, and then a German suplex. Tamina gets in after that. There's a catapult into a super kick from Tamina. Bailey forces a rope break. And we get a failed discus clothesline because Natty is in at this point, I believe. Shayna then gets in, stops the sharpshooter onto Bailey. The discus lariat connects onto Bailey. Then Tamina kicks Nia. Shayna kicks Tamina. Bianca fails to attack Shayna, gets pulled from the ring by Bailey. Bailey manages the Bailey to belly on Bianca. It falls a fucking part. Shayna gets the cure for the clutch on Natty when nobody's fucking looking to win.
Oy, oy, oy. It's so chaotic.
I don't know how people who aren't taking notes feel about it, but when that shit happens and I'm taking notes, I'm just like, I'll just stop. Like, stress.
Yeah, Grace. Alright, so after that, we had an interview with Biggie. We did a series of interviews with everyone going into the Fatal 4-Way. I don't think they did one with Apollo, though, or he did one by himself. Biggie says, I will stand in the ring with dogs today. Future Hall of Famers and world champions. This is exactly what I asked for. I will walk out the Intercontinental Champion. After that, we have Aleister Black with Chapter 4, Beautiful Pain. He says his father's lessons are painfully etched on my body, referring to his tattoos. Pain is honest, it is truth. Where would we be without this truth? You all live proudly in your cesspool of sin. It has become your identity to be lonesome. You are sick and dying. Then King Corbin is in the ring, but right before his match with Shinsuke. He says, I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to do anything. But after seeing that video package, which played prior of Shinsuke with the crown, he says, I now have to. Shinsuke may call himself king of strong style, but he's no king. A real king has a $10,000 watch or a fancy car, yada, yada, yada. Lovely dogs. Not some fat, shabby, tabby cat. Oh, there's no need to insult Shinsuke's cat like that.
I realized he was insulting his cat.
Yeah, because they
Tabbies aren't shabby. They're just dumb.
He says a real king respects the crown. I will take back my crown, get it cleaned and polished, and put it back on the head of the one true king of the WWE. And then out on the ramp is standing Rick Boogs on a mic holding a guitar. And he says, I'm Rick Boogs. I came to rock with the real king of Smackdown. And then he does Shinsuke's walkout, and it is fucking awesome. He should have been doing this for years now. And then Shinsuke comes out, and that takes us to King Corbin versus Shinsuke Nakamura with Rick Boogs on the sideline making great commentary. Rick Boogs.
I feel like a
fucking
dummy.
great.
I've been calling him Buges for so long.
I know. What his name looks like.
Bugles more. So Shinsuke gets whipped into the corner. There's a clothesline. He rolls to the apron and then gets clotheslined back again over the rope into the ring. There's some kicks to the chest of Corbin. Corbin catches the flying legs of Shinsuke and then powerbombs him. Starts twisting Shinsuke's arm. Corbin gets an abdominal stretch on Shinsuke, who fights free with some body shots. The kick upside the head to Corbin and then a backstabber. He hits a sliding knee to the face of Corbin and then another leg sweep. He attempts the Kinshasa, but Corbin catches him, sends him back into the buckles, and we get a belly-to-back suplex. There's a knee to Shinsuke, who avoids a choke slam. Oh. Shinsuke avoids a choke slam by sending a knee into the face of Corbin. But we still get a deep six. Shinsuke kicks out. Then Mr. Boogs distracts with a little guitar riff, and Shinsuke rolls Corbin up with a small package to win.
Yeah. Was a stellar match until... was going to be a stellar match until the distraction came along. I feel like that was a very common theme between all these matches. Was there some kind of distraction, some kind of interference? In every match. But after that, we had Jimmy Uso and Sonya Deville backstage. Jimmy says, we're ready to do our thing. We want the smoke. Give me the Street Profits. And Sonya's like, all right, next week, the Usos versus the Street Profits. In their first match in over a year now. So now, after that, we had a promo with Kevin Owens. He says, back in the day, I used to win so many titles, title after title. I will powerbomb. Tonight, I will powerbomb Sami so hard he forgets what a conspiracy is, and I will shove Aziz's thumb so far up his Aziz. And I forget what he said about Biggie. I didn't write that down. After that, we had Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Paul Heyman out on the ramp. Roman says, today will be to celebrate me. Just like Liz.
Roman's also a Gemini, so like it makes sense. It tracks.
Maybe today's his birthday.
No, it's not. It's May 25th.
Paul Heyman says, I have a moment here to acknowledge the tribal chief. He scared the Fiend to Raw. He humanized the monster Braun Strowman. He baptized his brother Jey Uso, or his cousin Jey Uso. He KO'd Kevin Owens. He declared the most solid pinfall when he stacked Edge and Daniel Bryan. He caved in Edge's face. He banished Daniel Bryan from SmackDown. He beat Cesaro on his own with no one's help at Cesaro's own game. It is a career highlight for me tonight to acknowledge the preeminent champion. Roman then grabs the mic and says, "Bring me my cousin." And Roman goes to the timekeepers and says, "Bring out Jimmy. Bring out Jimmy Uso right now. Bring out Jimmy." Cesaro's music hits. He walks out. Roman Reigns says, "You are not my cousin." I don't know why I found that so funny. But also I'm trying to find a funny fucking tweet I found. I can't, or not a tweet, a post. Okay. So Cesaro says, "I was in the back looking for Seth Rollins, and I couldn't find him, but I heard this annoying yapping in my ear. I realized it was you and your special counsel." And he then says, "Let's do it one more time at Hell in a Cell." Which, I don't know how that would help Cesaro. Like, the whole point of Hell in a Cell is that you're trapped in there with no outside interference, and the same result would just happen because they didn't leave the ring at all. There was no outside interference. So the result would still be the same.
Oh.
Right? Unless, like, Cesaro would plan on grabbing chairs or something. Seth Rollins comes out of nowhere and attacks Cesaro. He's then escorted out by Pat Buck and some officials. He runs back down the ramp, attacks Cesaro, stomps him, and then is escorted out again to the timekeeper's booth, jumps over the barrier as Cesaro is being escorted out too, attacks him once again, and stomps him once more on the ramp. He's like a fucking cat. Cesaro is like Michael Scott from The Office when he said, "If I had a gun with 2 bullets and I was in the room with Hitler, Bin Laden, and Cesaro, I would shoot Cesaro twice." Oh, fuck. And then Seth then has a promo later where he's like, "I don't know what happened. I blacked out." He grabs Cesaro, who's being stretchered out, and says, "Why do you make me do this? When are you gonna learn?" He can't control himself. It's fucking hilarious.
It's like a cat, dude. You tell them not to do something, they're like, "Yeah, sure," and then they fucking go and do it, and you're like, "Well, what? Sure, cool, man."
Every time he sees Cesaro, he's just like, "How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?" And then, for some reason, we get Dominic Mysterio versus Robert Roode. We couldn't leave it at Baby Champ. We couldn't let the Mysterios move on and face like Chad and Otis, who are now not on TV anymore. We have to circle back to Dolph and Roode. Why? That makes no sense. They had the end to their storyline. They had the crux when Dominic walked out while injured and beat the Dirty Dogs. Like, this is why I did not like this SmackDown, because it's just like, it's the fridge. I did not like this SmackDown because it's just like, it acts like Backlash did not happen.
It was a post-pay-per-view episode. I'll tell you that much.
But post-pay-per-view episodes are supposed to be where you introduce new storylines. That's the whole thing. It's something they didn't do with WrestleMania. WrestleMania is supposed to be a reset button. As soon as WrestleMania is over, you introduce new things. You basically start from scratch, and you open up the next page in the pad or the notebook. You got a blank sheet. That's post WrestleMania, and we didn't get that. Instead, we got WrestleMania Backlash. For some fucking reason. I'm annoyed.
So Rood drives Dominic into the corner before suplexing him. Dominic rolls Rood up with an inside cradle. Rood then hurls Dominic into the corner again, sets him up top. Rood wants a superplex, it looked like, but Dominic fights back with some body shots. Rood falls down, comes back up. Dominic shoves him away so hard that Rood was flying like halfway across the fucking ring. Hits him with the crossbody lateral press. After that, when that doesn't work, Dominic goes for the tornado DDT, but Rood just flings him. Rood sets up for a powerbomb, but Dominic fights free and then gets a head scissors onto Rood. It a failed wind up to a 619 as Dolph distracts Dominic, but Rood is then sent into the buckles, 619 and frog splashed. I don't know why we had this match either if it was going to be this short.
Yeah. Like, this served no purpose. It served zero purpose. Have a match between fucking the Mysterios and Chad and Otis. Like,
Or any of the other tag teams.
Well, the other tag teams are the Usos and the Street Profits, who are now starting to have a feud with each other, I guess. So all that's left is Chad and Otis.
Oh, yeah, I guess I see what you're saying.
But also, apparently, there's a report from F4W Online that says discussions taking place about John Cena potentially appearing on the first live show back July 16th.
Not falling for this shit again.
Imagine if we get John Cena versus Roman Reigns.
Refuse to imagine.
Oh, come on. Alright, so after that, well, actually before that match happened, Rood and Dolph, not Roof and Dolph, Rood and Dolph were walking down the ramp, and Rood says, "Ray did all the work, Dom, you just reap the benefits. This bring your son to work day is over, and I prove once and for all that you don't belong here." They gave a reasoning for the match, but I thought that would be the whole storyline with the fucking match at fucking Backlash. Was that not the storyline? That he did belong there? That despite being injured, he was able to come in and win? I see you're not answering me.
I don't have answers for you on this one.
Fuck! Okay. But after the match, we had Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso backstage. Jimmy says, "It's you and me next week." Jey says, "You made a match without telling me, without telling Roman." Jimmy says, "You won the Andre the Giant trophy without him. Man up. It's not about Roman, it's about us." Jimmy says, "I gotta tell Roman about this. I owe him that." There's one good thing about this episode. It was Jimmy and Jey.
Literally the only good thing that we've gotten consistently.
Yeah. Then we get Roman and Jey in his suite. Jey says, "I had nothing to do with that tag match. It was all Jimmy." Roman says, "Tribal Chief," Jey then says, "It's okay. Next week we'll take care of it. We'll win the match." And then Roman Reigns says, Tribal Chief and his right-hand man. That's we. Stop being selfish. This is we, not you and Jimmy. Everything that we do represents our family. Don't forget that. Then we get a promo with the Street Profits. Dawkins says, "Smackdown is supposed to be known as the blue brand, but not this blue." Montez then starts making fun of the Usos, just kind of mocking them. Dawkins diss raps at Jimmy. Montez says, "This isn't paranoia, this is the Street Profits." I don't know what that line was about. It probably had to do with the diss track that Dawkins did.
Did you do a diss track?
Yeah, he rapped like a diss freestyle. Which is very funny because it came right after the Acclaimed versus Eddie and Mox. Fucking Max Caster got obliterated.
Oh, remember when John Moxley, you could see the shift in his face because he knew he had to kill a man that evening?
Yeah. And then Anthony Bowens is like, we just want to be on the podcast.
I just like how they were like, they said that Eddie looked like a box of Newports, and John was like, I do.
Wasn't Eddie just like, yeah, I do?
No, Eddie was like, yeah, of course. That's my look.
Oh my god. I think you missed the music video that they did. Because that was when,
No.
You didn't miss it?
No.
When Anthony Bowens is dressed up like Eddie Kingston and stuffed his shirt with a pillow?
Yes. Yes, no, I did see that.
Holy fuck. Oh, that was great. So good.
I don't, like, the Acclaimed have, like, I love them.
Mm-hmm.
They're so dumb.
Yeah. So our last promo of the night is an interview with Sami Zayn. I have a sneeze calling in.
No, don't sneeze. Just don't sneeze. If you don't sneeze, everything will be fine.
All right. He says former Intercontinental. Kayla. No, not Kayla. Yeah, Kayla refers to him as the former Intercontinental Champion. He says, former Intercontinental Champion? You're trying to remind me of my past failure? You are a corporate hack. You're trying to minimize me. I will never forget this conspiracy. No matter what anybody does, I will reclaim my title tonight. The persecution of Sami Zayn ends tonight. And then we get Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens versus Biggie versus Apollo Crews for the Intercontinental Championship. Which would have been fucking amazing match. Had there not been a dumb disturbance at the end. Which, him coming in, his appearance was great. Wish he hadn't just basically decided the finish to the match. That's my gripe.
What do you mean?
Like, he basically decided the winner of the match. By kicking Biggie in the face, he let Apollo win. You know? He got the winning interference.
Okay, I guess I get it. Now, see, my face is gonna be red.
Why is your face gonna be red?
Because it was just fucking with something, and now my. Anyways. Alright, let's get into this because this is a fucking long haul. So Kevin Owens runs at Sami. Apollo runs at Kevin Owens. Then it becomes just Biggie and Apollo Crews. There's some body shots to the midsection of Apollo and a back elbow to Apollo. Kevin Owens slides in as Apollo slides out. There's an inverted atomic drop to Big E and then a step up enziguri to Big E, who then rolls out. Sami comes in, pounces on Kevin, and tackles him. Sami then starts kneeling on Kevin Owens' neck against the ropes. Big E gets up on the apron, pulls Sami out to ringside. Starts punching Sami in the chest on the apron and a big right hand to Apollo as he comes in for the interference. Big E then takes to punching them both on the apron in succession. A big splash to Apollo and Sami. Kevin flies out onto Big E. He starts punching Apollo but gets drop kicked to the literal moon and rolls out. Gets sent into the stairs by Apollo. Kevin goes to bounce Apollo's head against the stairs, but Apollo blocks with his hand and then sends Kevin Owens' head into the stairs instead. A standing moonsault from Apollo to Big E. Sami gets the brunt of the hits from Apollo. There's a standing moonsault off the barricade from Sami to Apollo. And there's a senton from Kevin onto Sami, back in the ring. Kevin starts hitting Big E with a flurry of fists, blocks a near belly to belly. There's an arm to the face of Kevin Owens from Big E. Apollo comes in, bounces Big E against the top rope before 3 German suplexes. He covers. Kevin Owens sentons to break it up. Sami gets an exploder suplex to Kevin into the corner. Then we get a haluva kick that fails, a stunner that fails, a Michinoku driver that does not fail, and looks fucking terrifying. Kevin then goes from the second rope or goes up to the second rope. Sami goes with him. We get a Fisherman's Brainbuster to Sami. Apollo breaks the cover, and Big E nearly spears Apollo, but can't get it as it's blocked. Kevin goes to stunner Apollo and is stopped, suplex onto the apron. Spear finally works for Big E onto Apollo. At a commercial break, we come back. Apollo gets a suplex onto E. Big E has a belly-to-belly to Apollo, and then one to Sami and another to Apollo. Sami gets intercepted with a big boot to the... a big ending. Sami intercepts. This note, I wasn't paying attention, and everything was happening so quickly that I just typed.
Mm-hmm.
It's gibberish. Sami intercepts the big ending with a boot to the face, ducks the pop-up powerbomb from Kevin, gets a brain buster, though, on the knee. And by that, I mean Kevin Owens lifts him up, smashes him high up on the neck against his knee. Kevin then goes up top. Apollo meets him up there. Big E then suplexes both. I missed a part, I think. But Big E suplexes Sami and Apollo at the same time. Kevin Owens frog splashes Big E. There's a cannonball to Zayn, then a German release suplex to Big E, and a cannonball to Big E and Apollo in the same corner. There's a fisherman suplex and a blue thunderbomb to Kevin from Sami. Sami then goes up top. Apollo meets him up there. Sami fights him down, fights Big E away. Kevin Owens gets up, and Sami has to jump up over Kevin Owens. We get a super kick to Big E, who catches Sami from Kevin. Super kick to fucking Sami, I think. Powerbomb to Apollo. Sami pulls Kevin from the ring and drives him into the barricade. Kevin sends Sami into the timekeeper's area. He goes back for Apollo, but Sami catches Kevin, drops him on the fucking ringside area. We get a big ending to Apollo after avoiding the German suplex, and then just as it seems like Big E is about to win everything, Commander Aziz pulls E out of the ring in the cover altogether. Aziz gets sent into the post. And Big E gets back in the ring, and everybody's like, oh, fuck yeah. Okay, so Big E's gonna fucking win this shit. It's clear. It's fucking clear. Well, it's not. All of a sudden, in a very Fiend-like manner, or a Retribution-like manner, a lot of the lights go out.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all sitting there like, well, what the fuck's gonna happen? Slowly out comes Aleister Black, which, exciting as it is, still confusing. He gets in the ring, he gets a black mass off onto Big E, and then bops out, lets Apollo get the cover. Stands there smiling as Apollo celebrates his championship retention. I think what's going to happen here is I think Apollo's putting his name in the hat for the title. I think this was just his way of saying Big E is the most fearsome competitor of the three men that are not title holders. And I think they're going to go from there.
I don't know. I think having Apollo, or not, having Aleister go after Big E is a good way to grab Big E from the IC title scene and have Apollo move on to someone else. And Aleister and Big E are basically opposites. Like they are polar opposites in terms of characters. So that will be for just a really good singles feud, and could be a good way to build up either Aleister or Big E for a main title push. Either push Aleister for the IC title a little further down the road, or build up Big E for the Universal title.
I don't know. I think we'll find out next week, but still.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, Aleister has brand new tattoos, so if you thought that there was no more conceivable space left on him to tattoo, you were wrong.
Yeah.
New ones.
They're nice tattoos.
He's got a really good style for tattoos.
Yeah, it's like
He's very consistent.
yeah. Got a very nice like Asian style. I want to say like Japanese. I think that's most of them.
A lot of it's a mix, actually, I think, because I think some of it's in the style of more Japanese art, and there's also, I think, a lot that's in the style of like Indian, Middle Eastern type of art. I think I watched one video about his tattoos, and that was like last summer.
Mm-hmm.
He also does have an Ella Fitzgerald tattoo because he remembers listening to her when he was really young. It reminds him of home.
That's amazing.
There's your Apollo facts for the night.
Oh, all right. Well,
am I gonna make it to midnight?
No. So that's our matches and promos. Now, best of the night.
Oh, I'm not so sure.
And best of the night also includes the update on the Pinfall Podcast Power Rankings, Liz, if you're wondering.
I was wondering. I really was.
Oh, good.
Also, if we finish the show before midnight, I'm gonna have a hissy fit.
Well, we got to delay for a half hour then. I mean,
yeah.
I also wanted to share the show scores this week.
Okay. Well, you stall for me, babe.
Okay. All right. So the top 10 though, the top 10 as of right now of 2021 in the WWE. I could also throw in some like other brands too or other promotions, but number 10, Mansoor. Still technically undefeated. Number 9, Swiss Cyborg. I think still the number 1 contender for the Universal title. Cesaro. Number 8, the NXT UK champion, Walter. Number 7, one half of the NXT Tag Team Champs, Nash Carter. Number 6, the original Bro, Riddle. Number 5, the other half of the NXT Tag Champs, Wes Lee. Number 4, one half of the former Women's Tag Team Champs, Shayna Baszler. Number 3, the other half of the Women's Tag Champs, Nia Jax. Number 2, the WWE Champion, the almighty Bobby Lashley. Number 1, the Tribal Chief, the undefeated Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. And then I think someone from 8, because they're all in the same point system. There's one person from AEW who is who fits in the number 2 spot, and that's Darby Allin. Darby Allin is technically a number 2. Nobody from Impact even comes close to getting the top 10, which is funny. Kenny Omega doesn't even really make it. He's got 19 points, so he's right with Nia Jax. He's like 4th.
God, wow.
All right. So now going to the shows from this week. I'm gonna make an effort to score all the shows this week, like everything, starting from 205 Live to Friday Night SmackDown, everything in between those two. But the best show of the week, which this week includes Backlash, was a tie between Backlash and NXT, both at a 3.14. And this is on a 1 to 5 scale. And then the worst show was Friday Night SmackDown with a 2.25. Raw had a 2.5. AEW Dark Elevation had a 2.31. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really? Actually, apparently, AEW Dynamite had lower ratings again this week.
Really?
Yeah.
Wonder why.
I don't know. I'm wondering if it's like lower ratings. I don't know what it's compared to.
Mm-hmm.
I just wonder if it's because like a lot of people came over from NXT and then were maybe like, this isn't my cup of tea. You know?
I don't know, because for a while AEW was they were building up super cards with like Mike Tyson. They had like big matches, And now they're building up for Double or Nothing, so it's kind of like this slow period.
That's true.
So there will be significantly more ratings for next Friday. All right, so with all that said, bests of the night, shall we? Shit, I closed out on my notes. Fuck.
Stall, I didn't mean like this.
This was an accident, I swear. Miriam said, isn't Wednesday still hockey nights? Are they losing out to hockey too, like NXT said they were? It's possible. It is possible.
Hockey is happening. I don't really watch that much hockey, but...
Give me one sec.
Are the Red Wings still involved?
The Red Wings are still a hockey team.
Yeah, but like they used to be like really good, and then they stopped being really good.
I was never a hockey guy. I tried to get into the Islanders for a while.
I used to watch the Red Wings like all the time, and then I stopped dating somebody who watched the Red Wings.
Where are the Red Wings from?
Right.
Oh. That's unfortunate. Alright. So, best of the night. Promo of the night. Let's start off with that. We start off with the Parade of Champions. It was good, but it was very long and very chaotic. It felt very weird, especially when Apollo grabbed the mic and was just going on and on and on. I don't know.
Yeah. And then Sonya said something about like that might not be the only surprise tonight, and I was like, I'm falling for this again, Sonya.
Does she have like Aleister caged up and like unleashed him for the Fatal 4-Way?
Honestly.
Then we had the Biggie interview, which was good. The Aleister Black Chapter 4 kind of had like nothing new, but I'm glad we at least got to see him. We then had King Corbin talking in the ring. This was fine. Really good for introducing Boogs, sorry. Then we had Jimmy Uso and Sonya. That was fine. Kevin Owens' promo was fine. Roman, Jay, and Paul in the ring, leading to Cesaro just getting eliminated, demolished by Seth. This was fantastic. This was so good. Paul Heyman going through all the challengers that Roman mowed through in like very creative ways. He is so goddamn good on the mic. How did Paul Heyman get so good?
Watching Roman's face as Paul was going through everything. Like at one point he was like he KO'd Kevin Owens and Roman was like babe.
Aww.
Then Roman said, I taught my sons, and I was like, oh. Sons.
Oof.
Children.
Yeah.
You got kids? Like, I know he has kids, but I forget that he has kids on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this promo is fantastic, especially when Seth just kept going after Cesaro like a fucking cat. And then the promo after really, really helped when he's just like, I blacked out. I'm going fucking crazy. I don't know what's going on.
I hope that they bring Becky back, and Becky's totally like, obviously still with Seth, like, not kayfabe, but like, comes in, she's just like, what the fuck are you doing, though?
I hope she just tries to avoid Seth Rollins at all costs.
It's like, my wife, and she's like, no, not like this. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
But then we had Jimmy and Jay backstage. That tension between them is still really nice. I liked how Jimmy is trying to convince him to be in a tag team. It's well done. Then Roman and Jay was also well done. Roman just manipulating Jay. Man, we're gonna get a match between like Roman and Jimmy, but it won't be for the Universal title. It'll be for Jay. Jay will be the title they're fighting over. It'll be a ladder match for the custody of Jey Uso.
Jay's just in one of those shark cages at the top, like.
Like the custody of Dominic Mysterio, but for Jey Uso. Alright, so after that, the Street Profits promo was, it was good. Sami Zayn's interview was fine. But I have to go with the Roman Reigns celebration. And also known as Cesaro getting stomped by the cat.
Yeah, I'll go with you on that. Well,
hard to top.
Because, yeah, it was probably the most entertaining promo that we got all night.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just in case anybody's wondering, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask so that you can solve the show so that we can celebrate my birthday, feel free to ask them. Leave questions in the chat.
For our Q&A session after the best of the night. Leave them now so we have them to look at. Alright, so Wrestler of the Night. First up was the 6-woman tag between Natty Tamina Bianca versus Bailey Nyashina. I'm going to go with Natty. Natty looked like the only competent wrestler in the ring besides Tamina, but Tamina wasn't in very much. Natty just had that fire in her eyes that, you know, made her seem like the most functional wrestler. Bianca was like not in the match at all. Like at all. It felt like.
She didn't get to do any of her like cool Bianca things, and I think that was the problem.
Yeah. Alright, so after that was King Corbin versus Shinsuke. I'm gonna go with Corbs. Shinsuke was good, but Corbin nailed a solid deep six, and his character work in that match was also really good. He when he's at a high, he's really good. But when he's at a low, he's really boring. After that, we had Dominic Mysterio versus Robert Roode. I'm gonna give it to Dom because Roode, I can't recall a single move Roode did at all.
He did the thing before he does the power bomb where he like yells something.
Did he? Good for him. And then we had the fatal 4-way between Big E, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Apollo Crews. I'm going with Big E. Big E is fucking... No, I'm not going with Big E. I'm going with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens nailed that... Or no, he took that Michinoku driver. He fucking nailed that brain buster onto Sami. I think he did 2 brain busters on Sami. Kevin was just a monster in this match.
It scared me a little bit. I didn't care for it.
When Sami did that suplex onto the one where he puts like his hand behind his head and the other one like kind of like on his upper back and suplexed Kevin landed right on his head. He took a lot of bumps in this match, but you know what? Power to him. He looked great. So, my pick for best wrestler of the night is Kevin Owens. Who else is there? Who else is there? There's no one in any of the other matches.
What about Big E?
I wanted to go with Biggie, but then I remembered how many bumps Kevin Owens took and how many fucking cool ass moves he did. Biggie was great. He was very hard hitting. That Uranagi was fucking solid. His character work was great.
Uranagi, however, in terms of the match, seemed ill advised because he basically protected Apollo.
True. Or he stopped himself from getting Helluva kicked because he might not have seen Apollo there. He might have just seen Sami Zayn coming for him.
Maybe. I don't know. Fine, I'll go with Kevin Owens. I don't really want to, but I will. Kevin Owens is like my PB&J sandwich where it's like, I don't hate him. It's just Kevin Owens.
For me, Kevin Owens was like... he's like... Okay, he's like chicken wings. Chicken wings that you order out. They can either be like really plain with basic ass sauce.
Yeah.
Or they're fucking great with like the all the fucking variety, really well cooked, all that.
Either a PB&J or a toasted PB&J. Two very different things.
Okay. All right. And now match of the night. I don't think we're gonna have any contest here whatsoever.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We started off with a 6-woman tag that was so chaotic and felt so useless. No one seemed competent at all in that match besides Natty. Then we had King Corbin versus Shinsuke. It could have been a great match had Boogs not just completely distracted and gotten Shinsuke the win. It had the goings of a great match. Then we had Dominic Mysterio versus Robert Roode. There was no reason for this match to happen at all. This match was lame. It was so short. There's no point. There's no point. I'd rather see fucking Rey Mysterio fight fucking Sami Zayn. Get Rey Mysterio in the singles scene. Imagine with that title, Rey Mysterio's like, oh, I want that Intercontinental title, but Dominic's like, what about our tag team? We have to defend the title. And Ray's like, no, we got to collect all the gold. Come on. Dominic's like, wait, what are you doing? Like, his dad just gets really greedy, and Dom's just like, I just want to be the tag champ. My only title. I don't know why I just thought of that, but I thought it'd be pretty cool. Then lastly, we had the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental title. That was a great match until Aleister Black. Like, Aleister Black could have showed up after the match ended and just annihilated Biggie and left. That could have been what happened. Apollo could have pinned Sami, protecting Kevin Owens and Big E, because no matter how far you take out Sami, he can't get lower than he is. A pin like this will not hurt him. It will not hurt his career. It will not hurt how he looks. Like, and if there's anyone for Apollo to pin, it would be Sami. Because Sami is one who was like trying to touch the title, literally grab it from his hands. But the first distraction, when Aziz was trying to distract and pull out Biggie from the pin, that was fine because he had Biggie like work out of it, take out Aziz, get right back to the match. It could have been one of those matches where the distraction is worked around and fought, and then Biggie comes around and wins, even if he doesn't win. But I still have to go with this match. I still have to, because it was the only match that was like exciting.
I think I've got to go with it too, and I hate that because I didn't love it. But I was excited to see Aleister come back. In like a fighting fashion. And not with the fucking glasses on.
Mm-hmm. Glad he still has the vest. Was it his old vest?
I wish... I didn't pay enough attention. Like, imagine he gets like a proper walkout.
I want his music back. His music was so good.
He rises from the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That music plays. Please, I would die.
But let's be honest. Do you think main roster production would go all out for Aleister's walkout?
Well, they brought back Seth's music, and that's the one reason why I feel like I'm like...
They brought out the music, but do you think they would get the camera moves, like get the close-ups on the candles?
I will sacrifice the coming up from the ground for the music.
Okay. All right. So that is our match of the night. Now we move on to the Q&A. If anyone has any questions, please leave them now. There's a question from Miriam first and foremost. Sorry, gotta tickle my throat. She said, if you guys could come up with a new character / gimmick to see on the main roster that we haven't seen yet or seen before, what would it be? We had a similar question to this not too long ago. I think I said like a soldier, like just a straight up soldier. But we saw that on AEW. We legit saw that. Remember those two guys that looked like the Forgotten Sons? They were in army fatigues.
Oh, yeah, like it feels like a fever dream, but yeah.
Yeah. So that's out. That's out now.
Yeah.
Oh, I legit thought about this during Smackdown today. I want somebody who is like super analytical during a match. Like somebody who, like a striker like Aleister, but has to break apart from his opponent every now and then to analyze his opponent, look at weak spots, and you can kind of see him tracking his opponent's movements. I feel like that would also be good in a tag match because he would watch his opponent fight his tag partner and go based on that.
I think what I would love is, I'm going to go with a women's wrestler here.
Okay.
But I want her gimmick kind of be like vaguely mythological. Okay? Follow me on this. Vaguely mythological.
Mm-hmm.
Technical wrestling. But that's just a meme.
Okay.
Come from. Vaguely mythological, but like very ethereal in the sense that like the goddess, a vengeful one.
This sounds a lot like Aoife Valkyrie right now.
Yeah, sort of, but that's not it.
Okay.
She's a bird.
Okay.
I'm saying a goddess.
I'm like,
Do you remember that girl who like had like the very like basic ass name on AEW Dark or Elevation or something? And like, but like she was like from Greece and like her gear was really Grecian. Yeah. That kind of vibe.
Grecian? Is that
not that kind of wrestling? But that wasn't good.
Grecian?
That was kind of Grecian. Yeah.
I'm thinking also like Nyla Rose. Like in terms of looks. Nyla Rose is a very like grand, exquisite gear, especially with that mask that she has.
Almost like that. But like I like the idea of it being vengeful and like does not fuck with anybody, like or does not take shit from anybody.
So you legit want like a Valkyrie. Like a Valkyrie in terms of in the mythological sense, where they're wear like the armor, they take gods to the afterlife, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'd like to see something like that. Yeah, maybe just put.
I think that'd be fucking sick.
Just give Aoife Valkyrie some armor. That's it. That's all you have to do.
Like I want her to be untouchable, basically.
Yeah,
not protected, but like
you also hate untouchable wrestlers. You complain about them so much.
I wouldn't be like mad if like she like lost a match or two. I'm just saying that like deals with grace. You can kind of tell that in the back of her head she's like, I'm gonna fucking murder that person. Like,
so you want like a female Aleister. Aleister loses, but he's like vengeful.
Yeah, maybe. That could be it.
Or even Karrion Kross.
No, not him.
You don't want a female Karrion Kross?
No.
Okay.
I want a male Karrion Kross at this point, so.
Okay. Alright, so we're still 10 minutes away from your birthday. I mean, we could just call it now and just say, hey, it's your birthday.
It's not my birthday. My birthday's not on May 21st now, is it?
Oh my god. What do you want to do for 10 minutes? We'll take repeat questions at this point. Like, is that what you want to do?
Could just sit here in silence.
No, we are not just sitting here in silence. Everybody will leave the show if we just sit here in silence for the sake of Miriam said talk about your dream AEW NXT crossover match. Well, obviously it's got to be Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega versus Finn Balor.
Ooh.
And
I feel like
triple threat. Kenny Omega, Finn Balor, Hangman Page. Bullet Club reunion.
Oh, see, I was going more for Hangman versus Adam Cole because they used to be buddies.
Okay.
Adam Cole's like a dick now, so that could be cool. Like, what would you do for women?
Women, I was thinking Candice and Indy versus Chris Statlander. Well, actually, probably just Candice versus Chris.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I
think for like men, I don't know. Women, this might be a not so popular choice, but Nyla Rose versus Nia Jax would actually probably slap.
Okay.
They're both big, strong women.
What about
Just no Vicky Guerrero, please.
What about Ty Conti versus Raquel Gonzalez? We could have gotten that if Ty hadn't been laid off.
Conti versus Raquel could be cool. Conti versus Dakota could be cool. Ty Conti versus Zoe Stark would be super cool.
Or Ty Conti versus Saray.
Or Ty Conti versus Shayna Baszler back when Shayna was in NXT.
I've been watching old Shayna Baszler matches. They're not great. They're really not that great. Like, she's not much better than she is now.
Really?
Yeah. Like her at a pay-per-view is basically how she used to be in NXT. Like, yeah. When she's acting competent. Why did you meow at me? I didn't touch you.
I heard that.
I don't know why she just yelled at me. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think of other women in NXT that would be like entertaining.
I'm trying to think of Britt Baker. I don't know where I'd fit her in.
Well, obviously, if we're including the main roster, Britt Baker versus Bailey. Role model versus role model.
Yeah. Ooh, but Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill versus Raquel? Now that'd be something.
How about Cody Rhodes versus Bronson Reed? Squash match.
Pain I experience every fucking day.
Or Cody Rhodes versus T-Bar. At this point, I just want to see Cody Rhodes versus Anthony Ogogo. Huh?
I know. I think with Anthony Ogogo and Cody Rhodes, it's like, I don't know what's supposed to happen. It's like either AEW's gone really fully not self-aware at all and they're going to have Cody win. Or they've gone shockingly self-aware and they're going to have Cody lose.
I mean, did you see when Anthony Ogogo threw Cody's American flag and he like looked like an idiot trying to scramble and grab it? I mean,
I thought that Anthony Ogogo was going to tear it up, and I was like, no.
Yeah. That's not his thing, though. That's not his thing.
No, it was just the way he was holding it and looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, I think, I don't know if I'd be able to pair Anthony with anybody in the main roster on WWE.
Anthony Ogogo versus, Jey Uso.
Hey.
Yeah. I think that'd be a great match.
They're like super out. How tall is Anthony?
He's got to be like 6'5", at least.
I
mean, Jay fought Roman. What?
6 foot.
That doesn't
He's
sound
as
right.
tall as you.
Like the tallest man on the stage whenever he walks out. Oh.
Wait.
What?
You say that Anthony Ogogo is the same size as QT Marshall.
That's not right.
Why
But
would you lie like that?
I thought of a different, like my dream feud between AEW and NXT crossover. This is perfect. BFFs versus The Way.
Oh, that'd be super fucking cool.
Just imagine Orange Cassidy versus Johnny Gargano, Trent versus Austin Theory, Chuck Taylor versus Austin Theory, Chris.
Have to be on AEW because wouldn't get that over here.
No, NXT has shown some mixed gender stuff. Like, remember when Bronson Reed fucking just took Candace on his shoulders and slammed her off the ladder?
God, that was a fucking experience, wasn't it?
Yeah, Candace.
Apparently,
Candace
Jey Uso is
too.
True. It's more progressive to me. As weird as this is gonna sound, more progressive to me when a man can get a move off on a woman than when a woman can get a move off onto a man.
Well, yeah, because if you book a man hitting a woman, you're basically saying that a woman's strong enough to take it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently Jey Uso is about 2 inches taller than Anthony Ogogo. So either AEW is doing some weird shit with like how they film people, the WWE is just like really underselling, or somebody has lied because Anthony Ogogo is not your height.
I mean, AEW is underselling.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
You said WWE.
I said, oh, yeah.
But I think The Way versus BFFs would be fucking perfect.
I think that probably would win for my choice there.
Death Triangle versus Undisputed Era. If Undisputed Era was still around.
Don't hurt me like that. I feel like the obvious choice is Death Triangle versus Lucha House Party and one other person. Or, no, wait. We're being fucking stupid. Death Triangle versus Legado.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
How about, this is my last one.
Okay.
The Young Bucks versus MSK. You can pull some real emotional shit with that. The Young Bucks are really good with that.
Yeah, that would actually be a pretty fun match. They've got very similar vibes, just on different sides of the coin.
Yeah. Like, imagine what happened with SCU with MSK.
Oh, no, I don't want to imagine that. That fucking hurt me. That still fucking hurts me. When fucking Christopher Daniels walked off at Dynamite yesterday, I said...
He walked off without saying a word. It was so sad.
It looks like he's got the worst eyeshadow on. Poor man.
It really does look like eyeshadow. Happy birthday! Woo! It's midnight.
We did it!
It's Liz's birthday. Woo! I wish I had like confetti or something, but I don't. I don't have a confetti effect or anything on fucking Streamlabs. Yay!
Technically, my birthday isn't until 12:07 tomorrow afternoon. But
oh, stop! That's your birthday hour. This is your birthday.
it's when the sun has finally reached its last point in the year for me.
All right. Well, Liz, would you like to close out the show now?
I would be happy to. Thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for Miriam for supplying us with questions to get us to this point. And if you joined us in the future, thank you for joining us in the future. It's technically still Gemini season, so it's still my birthday. It never fucking ends. Please join us on Monday, I guess. We'll be talking about Raw. And, That could be fun.
We watch Raw, so you don't have to.
But yeah, and then we'll be thinking about NXT the day after. So, hey,
Yes. All right. Thank you all for watching. Follow, subscribe, all that jazz. If you subscribe, you don't have to wait till I upload episodes to YouTube. You can catch them right on Twitch. Past 2 weeks of episodes without waiting. Our YouTube, though, is the Pinfall Podcast. You can see Pepita Predicts on there, which we did not do for Backlash.
here's being a diva.
Our Twitter, down below, is at Pinfall Podcast. My Twitter, let me be a background for right now, at the Mark Cameron. Liz's is at Eliza Elaine23. And thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you on Monday for Monday Night Raw.